Seems obvious that speech includes words. If someone asks, for example, for 3 oranges, the word three is one word with one meaning, and oranges another with another meaning. But an outsider would have no easy clue to the existence of these words. Try, if in doubt, to listen to someone speaking a language totally unknown to you. There will be pauses when they breathe or hesitate, but no audible divisions among smaller units. Therefore, even though we take for granted that such units must be there, we cannot guess reliably where they begin and end. If that is not already convincing, consider, if you have a chance, a visual representation of 3 successive words, those 3 oranges, as spoken naturally in English. The variations in the signal largely correspond to our distinctions between vowels and consonants. But it is not cut off between words. It seems, then, that an alien investigator might at first hear no more than an intermittent burble. How can they discover whether parts of it have separate functions? The natural method is to try to correlate repeated signals with the other things that people are observed to do. That is how we can ourselves identify, for instance, an alarm call in another species. Once this call is sounded by one individual, others in earshot can be seen to hide, or dash up trees, or fly off, or start running. But a moment's thought makes clear that language would only rarely lend itself to study in that way. Take, for example, a group of people who are talking while they are having coffee. One of them has the coffee pot in hand and asks if anyone would like some more. We cannot, however, predict exactly what they will say. It might be, "Would anyone like some more coffee?" Or, "Would anyone like another cup?" Or, "Another cup, anyone?" In response to these and other possibilities, some individuals may hold out a cup and have it refilled. Others, at most, shake their heads. In saying any of these things, the speaker need not actually hold the pot. It might indeed be empty, and if anyone wants more, someone must go to the kitchen to refill it. If no one wants more, nothing happens that, to an alien observer, will give any clue at all. Even when there is coffee in view and being handled, the word coffee does not have to be spoken. Neither is it spoken only when that is the case. A speaker might ask someone if, for example, they have remembered to put coffee on their shopping list. These are everyday exchanges. Where, then, would an alien find the correlations that would demonstrate that speech is made up of such words, or that coffee is one of them? It would be still more difficult if they were to look in on a course of lectures. The lecturer will be doing almost all the talking. When anyone else speaks, it will be the lecturer who is usually addressed, not other members of the audience. Most of the time, students are engaged in making marks on paper. What sense would this make if one did not already understand it? It might well be seen as powerful confirmation that, in general, human burbling did not carry detailed meanings. Lectures might be explained as periodic rituals in which certain members of society, who are mostly older, assert dominance over groups of other members who are mostly younger. This is not so very different from the robin seen by us as maintaining a territory. What we call sermons might be explained as part of a more complex dominant ceremony. Pop concerts might be another, in which lower-ranking individuals show subservience by dancing, cheering, and clapping. How close our alien observer might be to the truth, and yet how wrong. The blessings of being an insider will by now be obvious. At the simplest level, we already know, for instance, that some sounds are language and others are not language. Imagine an outsider trying to work out the role of coughs and sneezes. We know, too, that language is not uniform. The different forms of speech are found in neighboring communities or neighboring political units. Therefore, linguistics must also be a science of, in the plural, languages. We know that speech is made up of specific smaller units, which are composed in turn of units such as vowels and consonants. We know, too, that there is more to language than just face-to-face communication about things immediately before us. Nor is it even necessarily communication. People think and calculate in language, trivially, all the time, as well as, on occasion, profoundly. These are enormous advantages if we try again to put ourselves in alien shoes. But the flip side is